Welcome to day 11 of Sun Salutations with me. I am Laren of Yellow Umbrella Yoga. Check out my site at yellowumbrellayoga.com. Thanks for joining me for this 30-day yoga challenge. Today we'll revisit some of the soft variations that we worked with the last couple days and also return to some of the slightly more strength building poses that we were working with for the first week. As always, you take whatever variation of any pose that feels best to you. All of my instructions are suggestions only. You're the boss of your own experience. So with that, I invite you to join me laying down on your mat. Keep your knees bent, facing toward the ceiling. And I invite you also today to listen to my instructions and consider the movement before you take action. So hear the instruction, visualize yourself moving there, and then do so intentionally. Something to think about. So now that you've thought about it, let's lie down. As I said, you can have your knees bent, facing toward the ceiling, pointed straight up. And just take a moment to check in, notice how your breath feels. No need to control it or change it right now. Just notice the natural rise and fall of your chest and stomach as you breathe. You can place your left hand on your heart, your right hand on your upper belly, just below your rib cage. See if you can create your own pace by counting to 4 as you inhale. Maybe pausing for 4, and then exhaling for 4 counts again, where you also have the option to pause again for 4 counts, holding the exhale. Holding is an option. Just find your own count of 4 and see if you can pair your breath with that pace. So on the inhale, let your right hand on your belly lift first, inhaling for 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe pause, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, both hands fall, 2, 3, 4. Maybe pause, 2, 3, 4. Inhale again, 2, 3, 4. Pause. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Maybe pause. Inhale, fill up, 3, 4. Maybe pause. Exhale, let it go, 3, 4. Pause, keep counting. Inhale, your pace. Maybe pause. Exhale, your pace. Maybe holding. Keep breathing. Keep this count going as much as it's helpful to you throughout this practice. On an inhale, lift your right leg. Bring your knee towards your chest. Clasp both hands on the back of your thigh. kind of finding the middle of the back of your thigh. So not too close to your hips, not too close to your knee, right in the middle, just looking for what we call the belly of the muscle for your hamstring. So with your clasped hands, really pull that leg towards you. And as you exhale, press the back of your leg into your hands as you slowly stamp your foot above you as though to place it on the ceiling. So once again, your leg may look really different from mine. All bodies are different, so it's okay if your leg stays bent. Just play with inhaling to release the stretch, bringing your knee towards your chest. Exhaling, pressing it away. Press your leg into your hands into your hamstring, creating slack in the muscle so that we can enjoy a little more benefit from this hamstring stretch. Moving with your breath, take 3 more pulses in slow motion like this. Revisiting your count of 4, perhaps. Exhale, press it away. Toes stay flexed towards your face, really pressing with your heel away from your hip. When you're finished, release your right foot back to the mat. Pause here for a breath. Noticing difference between sides. Pick up your left leg, bringing your knee towards your chest. Same thing, other side. Clasp your hands behind your left hamstring, finding that same middle part of the back of your leg. And when you're ready, exhaling to press your flexed foot away, lengthening your leg as you press your hamstring into your clasped hands and your clasped hands into your hamstring. Inhale, softening. Exhale, pulsing and pressing. Inhale, bend your knee, bring it towards you. Exhale, press the back of your leg into your hands. Imagine stamping your footprint on the ceiling. 2 more, your pace, maybe still counting to 4 as you inhale and exhale. Nice work. Place your left foot beside your right on the mat, knees bent still. On an inhale, reach your arms long overhead and walk your feet away from your seat to stretch long on your mat, thinking tall thoughts even though we're laying on the ground. Fill up fully here. Exhale, be heavy here. Inhale, arms lift. Flex fingertips toward your face. Let your handprints be wide as though you're stamping them on the ceiling now. Exhale, keep reaching and sitting up, reaching towards your toes. Maybe finding a fold. Try not to collapse here though. When you come to the edge of a stretch that feels good in the backs of your legs, pause there. That might look like this, or maybe you're really flexible and you can go really far. Do what works for you. Inhale, half lift, rest your hands on your lap, sit tall. Exhale, lead with your heart, fold forward again. Exhale, lay back down. Reach your hands overhead. Take a breath in. One more time. Exhale to reach with zombie arms. Keep sitting up like Frankenstein, reaching towards your toes. Inhale, half lift, sit up tall. Exhale, lean forward, find a fold. Inhale, sit up. Exhale, lower one vertebrae at a time. Lay down. However you'd like to, make your way onto your hands and knees. I'll meet you in tabletop. Take any time you need to set up extra cushion underneath your knees. Today and always. Stack your knees right under your hips, your wrists right under your shoulders. Find a neutral spine. Inhale, lift your left leg long behind you. Flex your toes toward the floor, press your heel toward the sky. Exhale, step forward, find a low lunge. Maybe scooching your left toes forward like an inchworm until your ankle is right under your knee. Press into your right shin and top of your foot behind you, while equally pressing into your left foot. Rise up for a kneeling warrior one. Nice. Exhale, dive forward, plant your hands, frame your foot, send it back, lifting your leg long behind again. Bring your knee to the mat. From your tabletop, step your hands forward, find a plank with your knees lowered. Exhale, peel down, lower to the mat, lay on your belly. Press into your hands, squeeze your elbows behind you. Inhale to inflate and lift up for baby cobra. Exhale, lower back down. Inhale, press up, send your hips toward your heels for child's pose. Nice. Shift back forward, find tabletop again. Taking a moment to find alignment. Inhale, right leg lifts long behind this time. Toes still flexed toward the floor. You can look back there and see if that's the case. Pressing your heel toward the sky, letting your leg be long. On an exhale, step forward between your hands, making your right foot like an inchworm until your ankle comes underneath your knee. Press into that front foot, your right foot, as well as your left shin behind you. Lift your hands, reach up high. Find warrior one, kneeling. Take a breath here. And as you let it go, dive forward, plant your hands, framing your right foot on the mat. Hug your knee in, send your foot away behind you, reaching long behind once again. Lower your right knee to the mat. Shift forward, bring your shoulders over your wrists. Find a plank pose with knees lowered. Keep your elbows in close, grazing your rib cage as you lower to your belly. Inhale, press up for baby cobra. Exhale, lower. Send your hips toward your heels, child's pose. Take a couple breaths here. Prepare for more movement as we move to standing for the rest of this sequence. Shift forward, coming onto your elbows and forearms. Tuck your toes. Press into your hands with fingers spread wide, making your arms active. Now press into your toes, making your legs springy so your knees hover. Big inhale, send your hips to the sky. Find a downward facing dog. Maybe playing with your stance. If it's helpful, you can make your feet and hands wider, coming towards the edges, the outer edges of your mat. You can also send them farther apart or bring them closer together in relation to the ends of the mat. Make this downward facing dog yours. And when you're ready, take baby steps, slowly heel toeing your feet to meet your hands in a forward fold at the front of your mat. Take opposite elbow and opposite hand and hang out for a moment. Bend your knees, let your torso rest on your lap. Nod your head yes. Shake your head no. Release the clasp of your elbows. Let your hands hang heavy. Press into both feet to lift, roll up slowly to standing. Inhaling slowly through your nose. Taking your time, there's no need to rush. Taking a moment to settle into standing, making any wiggles and adjustments that you need to. Heel toe your feet to stand on imaginary railroad tracks that are about hips width apart underneath you. Take a deep breath. Turn your thumbs outward, shining wide handprints forward. Inhale, lift your hands, reach up high. Palms can touch in center as you dive forward, hinging at your hips, bending your knees as needed, finding a forward fold. Inhale to half lift. Find a neutral back here. Make a number 7 with your body. Exhale, fold. Plant your hands on the mat. Step your right foot back for runner's lunge. Step your left foot back for plank. Option to lower to your knees. Option here to come back for tabletop and take a vinyasa by moving through cow and cat pose as many times as you'd like. Or join me by walking your hands forward, finding your low knees plank once again. Keep elbows in close. Use your arms like springs lower to the mat. Untuck your toes. Inhale to lift for baby cobra. Exhale, lower. Tuck your toes again. Press up for your plank. Option to lift your knees again, adding strength. Keep your belly button close toward your spine as you lift your hips, pressing into both handprints and both footprints on the mat for downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your heels. Exhale, lower them. Bend your knees, look at your hands. And just walk your way to meet your hands with your feet in a forward fold. Inhale, roll up to standing. Take a breath when you get there. Inhale, hands lift, reach up high. Exhale, lower your hips down and back as though to sit in an imaginary chair. You have the option to take leverage out of this pose by bringing your palms to touch at heart center. When you're ready, dive forward, finding a fold. Remembering you can use your lap to support your torso as much as you find helpful. Inhale, half lift. Find a neutral, long spine. Exhale, fold. Plant your hands. Step, walk, dance, jump. Float your way back. Find downward facing dog. Inhale, shift forward for plank, your version. And choose your vinyasa. You might lower to the floor. Untuck your toes. Inhale, lift through cobra, pressing more still, extending your arms long. Pressing into both feet to lift your knees and find upward facing dog. And exhale, lower, keep elbows close. Lay back down. Tuck your toes. Press straight up for plank. Exhale, send your hips to the sky. Downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your right leg long behind. Exhale, step forward. Set up your foundation. You know where we're going. Warrior one. Pointing your left toes towards 10 o'clock behind you. Press into both feet. Lift your hands, reach toward the sky. Let your breath go. Take another breath in. And exhale, dive forward. Plant your hands, frame your front foot. Send your right leg back. Three-legged dog. And lower your right foot to the mat. Chaturanga. Shift forward through plank. Lower for chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Untuck your toes here if you'd like, or rather retuck your toes, you know what I mean. And send your hips straight back for downward facing dog. Nice, take a breath here. Inhale, lift your left leg this time. Now you know where we're going. We're gonna step forward, but envision yourself doing it. Think about it before you act. Moving when you're ready. Baby step in with your right foot. Toes point out towards 2 o'clock. Release your hands from the mat as you lift. Find your warrior one on this side. Take a breath. Exhale as you dive forward, plant your hands, frame your foot. Step back for runner's lunge. And send your left foot flying behind for three-legged dog. Lower your left foot to the mat. Shift forward for your plank. Elbows in close, lower for chaturanga. Untuck your toes. Press up, upward facing dog. Lower. Tuck your toes. Press up for plank. Send your hips back. Step on gas pedals underneath both hands, taking weight out of the wrists. Don't forget to breathe here. Take 3 breaths here. Maybe revisiting your count of 4. Maybe not holding it this time. Inhaling for 4, and exhaling for 4. Lower your knees, untuck your toes, send your hips back, stack your hands, palms face down, rest your forehead. Notice the rising and falling of your back as you rest in this pose. Take comfort here. When you're ready, join me in a seated position. You might stretch your legs out long in front of you, or you can keep them folded crisscross applesauce style. Just find a comfortable seat. From whatever you've opted for here, whether legs are stretched out or tucked in, bend your right knee, bringing your foot closer towards you. And bring it in as close as feels good. Let both hip points stay rooted to the mat. And we're just going to give this knee a hug. So turn your heart towards the inside of your knee. If you have your right knee, you'll be turning to face your right. And you might just take your opposite hand to the front of that knee and place your right hand behind your hip to help you sit tall and look over your right shoulder. If you'd like more, you can work towards bringing your left elbow around the front of that knee, so you have a little more space for hugging, and this might assist the twist. Exhale, twisting a little more. Inhale to soften, back off a little bit. Exhale again, twist again. Inhale to unwind, and release that knee to the mat. Again, it can be bent or stretched long, whatever works for you. Setting up for the other side. So bend your left knee this time. Let it point towards the ceiling. Bring your foot in a little closer. And now take your right hand to the front of your left knee and use that connection to help guide your heart towards the left this time. Place your left hand right beside your seat behind you and use it like a supportive pillar, kind of extending that arm long, really rooting your handprint into the mat and letting it help you sit tall. Take a deep breath in here. And exhale, begin to twist, looking over your left shoulder, if that feels okay today. If you'd like more, you can wrap that elbow around the front of your knee. Just give it a hug, really using that opportunity to pull with your right arm. Gently, not forcing anything here, just helping ourselves get as much out of this pose as we'd like, sort of wringing out the spine, if you will. So inhale to sit tall, exhale to twist. Inhale, soften, and exhale, twist. Inhale, unwind. Take any wigglings necessary, keep moving if you'd like. Thanks for joining me. That's all I have for today. I hope you've enjoyed moving through these variations of sun salutations with me today. And I look forward to seeing you for day 12 tomorrow. Take care.